Okay, so I want to just start off my video today. We're going to take a look at a website, a real business website, one that's in fact pretty close to me in location, and just showing you how I look through a website and assess it for a few basic accessibility things. These aren't meant to be really long videos, and the reason I'm yammering on at the beginning is because I realized as I was taking a shower, I was washing my hair, and I was like, why do I feel so anxious about this? I'm out of practice. And I'm feeling very vulnerable about being out of practice because I always want to present myself in the best possible way. I always want you to think that I am super professional and I've got everything under control. And really, that's not true at all. I am human and normal and highly anxious and very ADHD. And it feels like taking the 4 months off for like surgery and then holidays and whatever. Mostly it was fear-based of, hey, do I still know what I'm doing? Do I still have the knowledge and the experience to help people grow and learn? And if I set my sights on teaching people enough to get a job in today's tech world and all of the things that are going on, okay, who knows that? So like, why am I holding myself to this standard of perfection that I'm pretty sure y'all aren't holding me to? So like, why do I do that to myself? And you might recognize this if you are on the spectrum like I am, or ADHD. We have this desire to, if it's not perfect, we don't want to do it at all. And that's basically where I have found myself in the last couple of weeks. It's literally the middle of January and no one's going to do this for me. So this is me ripping off the Band-Aid. But yeah, I'm kind of like afraid to do it wrong. And I need to remind myself that every single person who watches this does so because they want to learn something and they believe that I have something that I can teach them. And people who aren't interested or aren't going to learn something aren't going to watch it. And that's wonderful. That is more than okay. So this is me calming myself, soothing myself from that anxiety momentum. So without further ado, first of all, thanks for being here. And second, let's take a look at this website. This is CT Drains and Sewer Solutions. As we can see from just the simplicity of the website, we're kind of leaning towards Web 1.0. So one of the things that I do notice here is we've got good accessibility on that hover state. We can see that the text for the navigation is underlined and has a hover state to it. So that's awesome. It's really small text. I feel like it would be really helpful if this would be a little bit bigger text. It's just such a large image, such large text on here. It almost feels like the navigation is lost entirely. So that's the first thing I noticed. The second thing is this feels almost this feels a tiny bit fuzzy, which leads me to believe that this is an image with text in it, which we know is inaccessible. So if someone's looking for emergency drain solutions, because this is probably kind of a competitor to, my guess is like Roto-Rooter, if you remember that. This is like an emergency drain problem. Like, I have stuff coming up in my basement, help me immediately kind of thing. And we don't know what kind of person might need that kind of emergency sewer service, but we cannot know what accessibility issues they might have, what disabilities might prevent them from properly understanding this website. You can't see it because what I've done is I've clicked and dragged the image, and in fact, this is all an image. So none of this information is visible to a person who cannot see or cannot see effectively. So remember, 8.7 million people in the US report a vision disability, meaning they're blind or have serious difficulty seeing even with glasses or contacts. So about 1 million people are blind by visual acuity standards. Broader estimates of visual impairments, including partial loss, not necessarily classified as a disability, puts the number at like 7 million. About 75% of American adults need some form of vision correction. What this tells me is that we don't know who might have trouble seeing this website, but some people are going to have trouble seeing this website. And what happens for this business when people have trouble seeing the website or perceiving the information on the website? They don't book them. If I am having an emergency and I I don't have time to grab my glasses and I'm just trying to be like, help me find somebody who can solve my problem now. If I get to a website that I cannot understand, I'm not going to stick around and try to understand it. I'm out, I'm bouncing, I'm leaving. So let's actually try and see what this is like with a little screen reader.
CT Drains and Sewer Solutions.
Cool. Okay, next.
Link image CT drains. Entered navigation. Link home. Link services.
Okay.
Link contact us.
Good to know.
Enter search. Search text box search for.
I don't even see a search text box. Interesting.
Image banner 1.
Image banner 1.
Paragraph open and available.
Open and available.
Heading 2. 503.
All right.
3777.
All I know if I'm using a screen reader at this point is that it's a drain solution and that they are open and available and a phone number. And that may in fact be enough. There's a very confusing amount of icons over here on that schedule online button. There's like a sound, there's a list icon, there's an expand icon, an up and down, and a drop down. This is so weird. Oh, all of the icons are showing. So schedule online with an arrow pointing out, although the hover state on the button makes you feel like, hey, did I break something? Why can I not see the button anymore? There's a couple of small things on here that need to be fixed, but it's not like a whole website overhaul. I'm honestly, Elegant Themes, WordPress, this is probably an overpowered solution for what they actually need. All of this could probably be a single page with the services included on the page. I feel like they may have made this themselves, which is fantastic. If you wanted to continue to build like your book of business and reach out to these folks and be like, hey, I'm not going to sell you an entire website overhaul because it'll be too expensive for what they need. And it also isn't going to really solve their issues. What they need is website accessibility maintenance. They just need a little bit of improvement and it would be perfectly fine. It would be a really good website, actually. I think they would be fine with a few website accessibility improvements. And that means you could sell them a monthly service. For these folks, it would probably be something like, for an early career designer, I would say $100 to $150 a month, and you can promise them 3 hours of review and updates. Really and truly, you could make some big improvements on the visual side of this, as well as some accessibility, and you'd benefit a local business. This is a family-owned business. I would talk to them and say, hey, you've got a couple of things that I've noticed on here, and you probably don't have someone who does all of your website stuff. Maybe they've got someone in the family who does. Maybe that person would be interested in learning, and you could charge an hourly rate to show them what to fix and then assist them on call as needed. And then you're just building goodwill with people in the community, and maybe they refer you to someone who can pay you more. It's just a thought. I hope this is helpful. Thank you for joining me as I get back into the swing of things. It's really appreciated.